Well, welcome back. Well, House and Senate lawmakers will finally receive a classified briefing on the Chinese spy flight this morning. This comes as senior U.S. military and national security officials say that the spy craft shot down Saturday is tied to a major global surveillance program run by China's military. Joining me right now is Tennessee Senator, member of the Senate Judiciary, Finance, Budget, Commerce, and Veterans Committees. Marsha Blackburn is here. Senator, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. What are you expecting from this briefing?
Sure. What we would like to know is, why did they choose to let this go sashaying across the country? And first of all, not tell us. Secondly, why they didn't shoot it down. And Maria, they had the chance to take this down when it was off the coast of Alaska. They made a decision not to do this. We also want to know, what was their communication with Canada? How were they watching this? Have they had other incursions? Because bear in mind, we would not know about this if not for a citizen with a great camera and a good lens out in Montana that took a picture, put it up, and said, tell us what you know about this. And then you have Blinken, who probably would never have canceled that trip if not for this being made public. And I doubt they would have taken it down, but why did they wait until it went all across the country? Well, there are ways they could have gotten this thing down and saved all of this equipment and figured out exactly what they were doing.
Well, the other thing is, isn't it true that they saw it coming in even before it entered U.S. airspace? Once it was in U.S. airspace, shouldn't it have been shot down right there? I mean, Joe Biden is so incredibly timid when it comes to communist China. He keeps repeating, oh, we don't want conflict. It's a competitor. It's not an adversary. Why?
That is a very good question, and it is one that more and more Tennesseans are asking me. Because last year, our trade deficit was, we imported nearly $1 trillion more than we exported. We have a record high trade deficit with China. They imported more goods to this country than ever. We have manufacturers in Tennessee of automobiles and appliances. They're very concerned about trade policy. They are very concerned about this trade deficit, and they are wanting answers. I'm looking forward to working on those questions with them and trying to get this administration to realize China has economic warfare, they have great power competition, they have human rights abuses, and this administration is sitting silent and not taking the CCP and Xi Jinping to task.
Yeah. Well, they also have trade priority, right? Don't they have special status when it comes to trade? Is that a lever to pull in terms of fighting back from all of these provocations? They covered up COVID-19. 1 million Americans are dead. We still haven't had one hearing on the origins of COVID-19, which is absolutely outrageous. We can't get in there to look at the Wuhan lab. And now this spy balloon over our nuclear sites. Can they just do no wrong, the CCP, to America?
Well, according to this administration, the CCP is not doing wrong. They're letting them have their way. And Maria, under President Trump and Mike Pompeo as Secretary of State, the CCP would not have tried this. But again, you have to look at this axis of evil, which, as I say, is China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. You look at Iran going into Russia now. They have given them drones. They're manufacturing drones in Russia. You look at what has happened with the CCP, propping up the Russian army with navigation equipment and helping them in this fight against Ukraine.
Wow.
You look at North Korea sending rockets to Russia to help them fight against Ukraine.
Unbelievable.
It's an unsavory bunch of characters. We need to have these briefings, but we need this administration to get their act together on foreign policy and make certain that they are sending a message to the CCP that we will not tolerate this.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. What they are doing is dangerous, and the spy balloon has become emblematic of this misplaced, misdirected, inappropriate and dangerous foreign policy of this administration.
Well, hopefully it's the least of it is emblematic, and it's not much more damaging than anybody knows, given the fact that it was likely sending data back in real time over military installations where there are nuclear silos. The White House is rejecting a report from a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who says the Navy destroyed the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Utah Senator Mike Lee tweeted this: "I'm troubled that I can't immediately rule out the suggestion that the U.S. blew up Nord Stream. I checked with a bunch of Senate colleagues. Among those I've asked, none were ever briefed on this. If it turns out to be true, we've got a huge problem." What do you know about this, Senator?
We have not been briefed.
Okay. Well, look, the president the other night in the State of the Union said we're going to need fossil fuels. We're going to need oil for the next decade. Why make it harder for these companies if you know you're going to need oil for the next 10 years? I know that it drew laughs from the GOP, but it's quite serious because oil companies are worried that they're not even going to get funding from the banks because of this pressure against fossil fuel and the climate change agenda.
Well, maybe the banks need to realize they're going to need them for the next 10 years. But it is so interesting to me, and especially when you look not only at transportation fuel, but also at home heating fuel, industrial heating. And Maria, it is just foolish that we would not be using clean coal technology, that we would not be using natural gas, that we would not be expanding nuclear power and things that can help us through times of extreme cold or extreme heat, or to keep transportation going. We are an energy-based economy, and we need to be using our natural resources, do it wisely, so that we are manufacturing here at home, so that we're cutting this trade deficit, so that we are going to be able to get from point A to point B with predictability, reliability, and keep our supply chains moving.
Well, speaking of the economy, you're a member of the Senate Finance Committee. You've gotten to work proposing three separate bills to cut spending. We're about to see a showdown on spending. Have you gotten any indication that the White House will come up with areas to identify to cut spending or put some kind of a framework in place for an agreement to raise the debt ceiling?
So far, they are sticking to their comments about not negotiating. We do know that Speaker McCarthy had a meeting with the president. We are hopeful that the president will realize he is going to have to negotiate with Republicans in order to get something done. And that something done needs to include spending cuts. Every year I do the 1%, 2%, and 5% across the board spending cuts in non-defense, non-homeland security, non-veteran services. And Maria, it is important that we look at this discretionary pot and begin to make some cuts into that baseline so that we are going to bring this budget into balance within the next decade or so. You cannot continue to rack up this kind of debt. We're at $31 trillion and counting.
Yes, we are. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
You too.